Alright. In accordance with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, this channel is not to be viewed by children under the age of 13. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey everybody, Dragon Mark here, and welcome to part 10 of Let's Play Ash of God's Redemption. Last we left off, well, Thorn finally reached Ursus, finding out that the healer that he was looking for didn't even exist, but Philia was actually the one he was looking for. She did mention she ended up helping out Hod, who got injured during a fight against some Enses, but Thorn got arrested, which sucks to be him. He's currently in prison right now in Ursus. Now we're playing as Hopper, who's currently looking to find out where Thorn is. Now, let's go over the riddles that we remember from last time we were as Hopper. Taking to yourself that which you can take, for there is no one else. The wise will take to heart what the foolish will not hear. There are holes in holes. One bites, the other brags and moralizes. Talk to those who are eager to talk. Sometimes the tongue knows more than the head. Let's go the Shepherd's Path. I think it leads us faster to Ursus. A dirt track used by the local shepherds that looks like a tangle of several paths winding around boulders and shrubs. I'm just going by a walkthrough. Ake sees something in the underbrush and stops his horse. He takes a deep breath. Hey, who's there? Come up before I chop you down with this bush, he booms. A scared villager comes out of the bush. Drawing closer, you notice a cart lying outside. What misfortune was he hiding from? Let's try to find out what's the matter. The villager tries to speak, but he's trembling too violently. He just waves towards the road behind you. Let's go where he's pointing. Ake says it's not fitting for a book lover to wander the woods and goes to search for the boy himself. You put up no argument and wait. You soon hear branches snapping and see a party of Enses through a gap in the brambles. You tell the villager to take cover behind his cart and step forward. Ah. Alright, we have some skill points. I forgot about that. Let's see. Let's upgrade this. Devouring Blow. 90 damage and increase your health or energy by 45. That's good. Taste of Blood. Increase your attack by 2 when you kill an enemy. That's also good. And let's get some extra willpower. Alright. Let's go help out Ake. So, what have I been doing lately? Well, I've been doing well. I've just been gaming, kind of dealing with some issues. My desktop had a bit of a blue screen the other day, but honestly, like, it happens sometimes. Alright, I have all about on. I might as well have it on. Thing is that, like, it was watching a video, and, like, the first time it opened up a video on YouTube, it, like, the uBlock blocked, like, 200 freaking ads. Just from one video, so I'm like, yeah, something's up. I don't know, it just does that sometimes. It seems to have fixed it. I was playing Ark Survival Evolved with my friends yesterday, and I'm gonna be honest, it did not end well. We had a grand adventure, but unfortunately, I ended up dying due to the cold. I didn't not have enough fortitude, which reminds me, I'm gonna have to go up on there later and check to see if I can do it, if I can actually upgrade. I kind of need it. But yeah, other than that, I'm okay for the most part. Maybe I should at least put that vampirism thing skill on for Hopper. What was that skill he keeps using? But yeah, I mean, I've just been gaming most of the time. Most of the time, I've just been gaming. I have been playing a few other. I have been playing more Greedfall. I've almost got everyone maxed out on friendship. I just need to do the coin guard. I need to upgrade them from suspicious to nice or friendly again after the little coup they attempted. The giant soon returns, piggybacking the boy. The villager recognizes his son and rejoices. Ake says that you've lost enough time already and should move on now. As you're about to leave, the villager stops you to relay his son's words. It appears that some old hag protected him from the Enses. She asked the boy to pass on these words. In the house you'll enter, look below your feet. In the house you'll enter, look below your feet. Could that be Phileas? You shrug and bid farewell to the villager. You don't reveal it, but it's clear that this was no ordinary hag. You wonder when this information will be useful. Considering we're going to go to Ursus, I have a feeling it's going to be very useful. Continue down the path. The old mill. Give in to the curse again. You catch up with a squad of Isanan soldiers. They look odd for Barkana troops, face painted black and hair woven in dual braids. I've heard about these black snouts, Ake cheers. We call them mock vandals or the Night Watch. These Isanans are so funny. Let's recount the story. 460 years ago, the Gabonan War began. For the first time since the Battle of the Drowsy Deep, Barkana clashed with Frisia and suffered a crippling defeat at Jormung. The Frisians the city. A small squad was surrounded in the market square. The Northerners' next attack would likely mean their doom. The warrior, Quarbath, saved the day, he continued. There are times, he said, when you need the element of surprise. He parted his hair, making two braids and slathering the soap with soap to make them stand upright, like a pair of horns. Then he smeared his face with soot and rushed at the enemy. He surprised the Frisians with his fighting skills and his demon-like appearance. While the enemy was still confused by his trickery, the Barkanans followed him and broke through. You shrug. Ever since then, there's been a black-snouted squad in the Isanan army. I don't approve of it, because it won't surprise anyone except maybe you. As for Quarbath, he carried on as a regular soldier and refused any honors after that battle. He's also famous for siring many children. Feels like I still run into one now and then. Let's go to the new mill. Day 13. On the outskirts of a roadside village, you spot a menhir-like stone pillar. Many of these obelisks were erected in ancient times by villagers hoping to attract the gods' grace to their settlements. At the time, the sick had already begun their pilgrimages to the menhirs for healing, and the Temple of Divine Retribution wasn't nearly as powerful as it is today. In remembrance, you press 3 fingers to your brow, then your lips, then your heart. Ake stares at you wide-eyed. What's all that pointing you're doing? The 3 corners? Zigzag? Is this a sign of the triune? I've seen that gesture somewhere, but can't remember for the life of me. Maybe a vandal worshipping his idol or a god on a menhir? What does it mean? Temple servants usually just bury their heads in their hands and face the nearest wall. Let's try to explain to the guy. Ake shakes his head in frustration. Don't muddy the waters. Who do you remember, praise, and love? What do you think about preserve and keep? What in blazes does that all mean? You sigh. You sound like a temple overseer, Ake, looking for heresy everywhere. Once upon a time, this was simply a greeting used by one of the heralds who descended into this world during the Divine Retribution. His name was Myketh. He and his other heralds went from village to village giving hope to the survivors. He also said that any stone can be as a menhir if you seek grace within. Ake takes some time. It takes some time for it to sink in. I see, says Ake. But what uses is grace? A pillar is a pillar. A menhir is a menhir. It's all worth considering, but I'm afraid that all that thinking will crack my skull. And we're about to reach Ursus. The walls of Ursus already loom through the trees when you overhear sounds of fighting. You find ensigns fighting a Joran and horse patrol in a nearby meadow. Ake grips his sword tightly. Hey, buckle over. You should let the boys deal with these abominations. You just stay here, away from the sharp blades. You shrug and dismount to watch a skirmish. Reinforcements are already coming from the city gates, so the ensigns don't stand a chance. The twig cracks, making you turn to unsheath your sword. Another ant squad emerges from the nearby forest. I like Hopper. You don't really need anyone else but yourself. Let's get willpower. Oh, we got two more. Let's grab Shadow Blade. Ooh, that'll be useful. Hopper is relatively easy to do if you just want to know about stories and stuff of this world, and I like that. He's more like the lore guy. Shit. I think I may have goofed. I was looking at this guy and it was looking through the mushroom track, the shepherd's path of the old Gabonan road. And it was doing it in a different way that wasn't in the... That wasn't in this. I thought this was looking for him, and I was like, wait, why is... Oh, I went the wrong way. Yeah, let's go to the Gabonan road. That's the quickest way to get to Ursus. Trees nearest the road are scarred with various travelers' marks. Some have their lower branches cut off. Others' bark has been stripped to ribbons. You notice a thick branch leaning purposely against a trunk just below a tree hollow. Someone has either put something in or taken it out. Ake follows your gaze. That whole interests you, Hopper? Really? It's a poor squirrel's winter stash? Or do you think maybe that a simple bandit hid treasure by the thoroughfare? I doubt it. Look at the branch. Someone's been in there already. Eugen's words come to mind. There are holes in holes. Is he talking about a hole in the tree? A hole in the ground? Should you check the tree hollow or be sensible and ride past it? Check the tree hollow. Ake's clearly worried. Be careful, Hopper. Forget the hollow. Mark my words, there's a god-awful snake in there. There are no tree snakes in Barkana, of course, but it could be remnant from the Madwood. Screw it, let's go. You stare at the tree hollow, mesmerized. The snake continues to hiss. Is it enchanted? Did you curtail your curiosity? Oh, apparently we were supposed to see... Apparently it's supposed to be a bit of dialogue where we snap the tree branch and there's a snake and you hear a hiss. Let's run away. You remember Vegan's complete phrase. There are holes in holes. One bites, the other brags and moralizes. You regard your own hand and decide to keep it bite-free. To blazes with this hole, it's wise to move on. To the old bread market. To the meadow village and the old bread market. Give in. Alright. Ake suggests you set camp on the outskirts of the village. There's a grain market, he explains. Even in the off-season, there's all kinds of folks, including those you shouldn't turn your back on. Let's pass the plaza in the village and spend the night here. You only shrug. After years of wandering, you've gotten used to sleeping under the stars. You trail your gaze around a grove of trees. One of them bears a glip, freshly cut into the bark. It's no warrant's mark, but a reaper's sign. You walk around the tree and find a hole in its trunk. Ake solicitly suggests that you don't mess around with strange holes. Suggest that Ake checks it. Ake looks at you like you're stupid, but shoves his hand into the hollow as you request. He pokes around, winces, and brings out a handful of earth. You part of a secret idiots league? Someone put dirt into the tree hollows. What? While others hunt for it? You pause to consider this. There's a grain of truth in Ake's words. Someone made effort to bring a handful of earth from a nearby field and pour it into the tree hollow. Suddenly you have insight. It's a clue, Ake. What I'm looking for is under my feet. I just need to find out where exactly to look. Don't trouble yourself with my musings. Let's camp here for the night and head out in the morning. Sweet. Alright, let's go to the old Gabongan Road. Alright, this is basically the same thing we had the last time. Alright, let's see, we got plenty of skill points. Let's grab Shadow Blade. I think we can get Fire Blade, Spurts of Flame, Quick Mind, Master of Combat. Ooh, that's good. So yeah. Other than that, you know, things have just been okay. Alright, let's go. Ursus. I wonder if I'm gonna be able to get Thorn out of prison. But honestly, like that game of Ark was insane. I mean, I did good. I managed to kill a lot of enemies. I got a lot of food. I'm gonna go back later to check on my guys. Maybe level up my character, give them more fortitude. I can't actually do much of anything until I actually get more fortitude to withstand the cold. Even with the fursuit, even with the I guess ice armor, I guess. I get that attacking him from a distance is a good thing, but at the same time, you could just also, you know, activate his skills. The Mass Effect Legendary Edition has been released. I mean, not released, announced, and it looks good. Honestly, it's sad that they're not giving you the Pinnacle Station DLC because apparently the code for it is corrupted, so they can't actually put it in. But it's not really much of a loss. There's not really much to gain from it. It was just basically a horde mode. Oh shit, healer, what's the deal with you and those Ences? I've never seen such swordplay. If you treat wounds as well as you fight, you could resurrect the dead or something. Can't do that, Ake. Besides, why do you need to reanimate the dead anyway? They're already in the hands of the gods. It's the living we should be looking for after. I cannot believe this. This peppy old man is a healer? You have my respect, sir. Never actually saw icons fight, but I don't think they'd give you much of a challenge. I am Shek, commander of the guard of Ursus, at your service. Hopper Raleigh, at your service. Never encountered an icon and not eager to. Tempting fate is one thing. Laughing in its face is something else entirely. Well said, Hopper. Thanks for your help. Never would have thought I'd have to fend off enemies near my hometown walls. Although it wasn't long ago I was nabbing similar beasts on the Ursus streets. Is there Ences in town? Has the reaping gone to Ursus too? If messengers are to be believed, it's the same mayhem as in Albius. Not sure if it's the reapings, but many are getting sores on their necks, and the bell hasn't stopped ringing for days. No reapers here, but those white-masked abominations are popping up like mushrooms. And Ences are drawn to the men here. The masked warriors always arrive before a reaping, just for they are its harbingers. They come, eagerly rushing to the sacred stones. Then the men here accumulate poison and become deadly. True, our stone killed some people too. We allow none near it now, of course, and we forbid even discussing this plight. For now, the ointments the monks bring from the temples supply do their job. Alleviate some of the pain. Judging by the flags, the king's in town. Why not in the capital, though? They say war is coming to the western border, in which Barkana Kingdom will be the first one plunged into the mess. That's right, Jorana. Gabonan's trouble is business as usual, anyway. Besides, the king's old now, and his health is declining. His son, on the other hand, is young and healthy. His Highness is stationed in Ursus, by the way. This is hardly a big city, but it has more resources than Albius, and thrice the population. We even have a royal palace here. Just you wait till Prince Tree comes back, then it'll all be like it was. You don't believe this, do you, Shek? Nothing will be as it was anymore. If records of the previous reapings are to be believed, only 1 in 3 women survived, and only 1 in 5 men weren't killed in battle. I don't want to think of it. And what's the point in digging graves and crying over those who still live? Have you perchance seen Prince Ho? Thank the gods we found him under the healer's house. He's suffering from a wound from an abomination's dagger. Everyone there was thrown into the dungeon, including Thorn Brennan. That didn't make the prince feel any much better, though. His young highness is quite impatient. At least he is alive. His majesty is probably worried sick now. You said Thorn Brennan is in the dungeon. And what of his daughter? Of course he's in the dungeon. Brennan Vici, Thorn's brother-in-law, made sure of that. The girl's vanished, though. Her uncle turned the whole town upside down, but to no avail. I see you know Brennan, since you were talking about his daughter. We've been hot on Captain Brennan's heels since Albius. You could say we know everything about him. We were supposed to bring back Prince Ho and arrest Thorn, all at Prince Treek's behest. Well, nothing left to do now. We didn't make it. It was all for naught. Maybe you don't care, but I need to get to the dungeon and talk with Thorn Brennan right now. What say you, Shek? The booklover wouldn't ask that without reason. Give us a short meeting. I can attend so you don't feel pressured. Besides, you defeated the abominations that were ready to tear into your guards. You may be right. Besides, you've helped me and saved my men's hides. Alright, have it your way. Cool. If we transition to another character, I'm gonna be freaking peeved. Nope, we're at Ursus. Good. Stein. Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Okay. Well, we finally made it to Ursus, people. I'm curious, though. Let's go and talk to Ake. Listen, Ake, you're gonna burn a hole in my head with that stare of yours. Something wrong? I still don't get why the Cardinal carried you in his arms. You may have undone the sorcery and be quite deft at swinging that sword of yours, but so what? What would the Cardinal care? What if I tell you I'm a great scholar, an expert on ancient manuscripts, an interpreter and translator? I'm a rare breed, my friend. Do you think the Cardinal would rather rummage through hundreds of manuscripts or just ask me for the answer? So, you're like a walking library or something? I don't believe that one bit. Answer me this. What was that fiend in Albius? What did it want with trouble? And why's the war with Frisia happening in Reap time? By the way, Ake, do you know that the temple looks down on such talk, don't you? You do know that the temple looks down on such talk, don't you? Maybe they do, but I don't. I'm no temple servant, and I don't do Karanzan's bidding. Nor do I serve those robed buffoons. My ears are open, but my lips are sealed. I swear on my honor. Do you want to know more about the monster from Albius? What else can a killer be but an enemy? You should know your enemies by name. I don't believe for a moment that this Reaper of yours has no name. What did the records say about the last reaping? And there's nothing about our current reaping in any records yet. It makes sense that it was a Reaper, so that's just what people call them. They consider themselves harbingers, messengers of the gods. There are records of some kind, but I cannot tell you anything about the one in Albius. I've not seen it. Well, I'll tell you then. I was questioning a merchant, his name's Panagang, I think. The Reaper was tall, half-naked, gray of skin, and had dirty hair, like a shaman's. Yeah, and he's got a bunch of chains and such on him. He also had a giant glaive made of some kind of drab metal. That was Drakal, one of the most powerful Reapers. His weapon was the biggest clue. The Hidden Chronicles call him the Butcher of Barkana, or the Scourge of Barkana, or... well, he's got many names. Quite a bit of carnage he's dealt through the centuries. A ruthless and cunning beast, that one. I don't quite understand. Why would a monster that powerful even need to be cunning? That's a weapon of the weak. Unless he's not the only one. Did the Chronicles say something else? Don't fret, I won't tell the temple about this. I know, Ake. I'm quite good at reading people. I don't think Drakal needs to be cunning. That's just how he is. The Reapers are not to be trusted, however. Not hammer-wielding Tibibar, nor Atrak, with his sword embitted. None of them. Wait, didn't Lo Fang skewer Atrak? Yeah, we did. I remember we skewered Atrak as Lo Fang. I think twice. GameFi. Tokens. Interested in the reasons behind the war with Frisia? That's exactly right! Prince Tree sent more patrols westward the moment he heard the reaping was coming. We've never been friends with Frisia, obviously, but why are they at our throats in reap time? Are the gods not bestowing their due share of misfortune? Alright, Ake, I'll answer you. Let's say your prince squabbled with the cardinal. They'd argue and go their separate ways. But if a temple servant squabbled with one of the Frisian kings, the king's head would roll the moment he uttered a word of dissent. Well, maybe they got their own way of life. Who knows? Maybe the temple runs their lands, while our monarchs try to maintain law and order. Still, Barkana doesn't attack Frisia in reap time. But we did, Ake. We started it during the first reaping, and when the second reaping struck, the one that ended at the Battle of Drowsy Deep, it was the Barkana army that turned up. Those weren't Frisian lands yet. Wait. That was 2 reapings already. So this is the 3rd. So that's how it is, eh? Barkana played dirty with Frisia and now expects payback during every reap time? Why tell me of the Frisian ways? The Frisian Temple, the Temple of Divine Wrath, yearns to rid itself of both the Temple of Divine Retribution and Barkana itself. They're the ones who truly command the Frisian troops. The Reaping presents a good opportunity to finish off a weakened enemy. That's how it goes. The Reaping comes and Frisia's right on cue. So, do you want to know why Trouble had to die? Don't tell me you've no curiosity. The monster paralyzed everyone, turned a third of the townsfolk against the others, and beset the whole town with plague. But Trouble was the only one it itself killed. It even climbed to the town hall just to get him. Do you know why they need the Reaping? Because they find nourishment in death, torture, and pain. More precisely, those things power the sacred stones, imbibing them with their healing properties. Now tell me, is there any better to be killed by a friend than an enemy? What are you even saying? Enemy, of course. Let's see him try and kill me. A friend who plots against you is no friend at all, wouldn't you say? Much more infuriating than those who present themselves as enemies from the start. That's how it is. Your hatred, your tears, despite your best attempts to hide them, are just food for the sacred stones. So, if Trouble became that Reaper's servant and began to slaughter the townsfolk, the Reaper would find it quite amusing and satisfying. Praise the gods, Trouble didn't agree to that. Those of royal blood are certainly a lot tougher. Take Prince Treek, for example. What a man. His father was quite the fearless fellow himself when he was in his prime. That's why he didn't get on well with his grandson. We all bleed the same shade of red. Few have faced a Reaper and lived to tell the tale. Maybe Trouble's heart just couldn't take it. The Gabotan King massacred his subjects. Treek's ancestor, Geronin King, did so too. Didn't matter in the end. They just joined the pile of corpses they created. That's what's enough. Perhaps. One little thing I don't quite get though. Your words have a ring of truth, and I may be but a simple swordsman, certainly no scholar, no peasant either. Yet I've got a hunch that the temple, servants, and reapers are in cahoots. I mean, they're all making a fuss over their precious menhirs. Okay, this is a pandemonium I want no part in. Not in the way I appear in your eyes, at least. I've heard this reaping's the last one. Is that true? Think, what would it take to make this the last battle? No one's to be left alive. No woman, no children. Only then, maybe. If Drupkal is on Frisian's side, does Barkana have its own reapers? Do the same reapers roam in the north and the south? Well, things happen. The only certainty, reapers serve no one. That's disturbing. Now let's go talk to Stein. Listen to me, Stein. I understand the reaping makes times tough and everyone's feeling resentful towards one another, but what is your problem? Your Ursus been treated with a potion from the temple. You're alive and well. What could possibly be bothering you? The only one I resent is myself. What provoked such anger? What happened in Alvis wasn't so clear-cut. It wasn't the tall man who attacked me. It was the other way around. I'd have killed Ramblin too if he were not so fast. I'd probably have taken a stab at Thorn too. But what stopped you, Stein? It was the bell. When I heard it ring throughout Albius, it was like something hit me. I came to my senses. I couldn't believe what I'd done, but there's no taking any of it back. So now, Stein, you don't feel like the thumping. You don't feel the thumping now, do you? I mean, the bell's not ringing anymore. The bell's ringing, Hopper. I know it is. Even if I don't hear it, I feel the insistent thumping in my head. While it rings, I'm still human. I'm afraid to find out what happens when it stops. So the bell kept him from going insane. Do all bells have that power? Alright, let's go talk to Thorn. Shek takes you and Arcade to Thorn's cell. Thorn, you have guests. Go greet them, just keep it brief. This is a dungeon, not an inn, after all. No shenanigans, you hear me? I'll be waiting by the entrance. Finally we get to meet the guy. Hello, Thorn. I'll cut to the chase. My name's Hopper Rowley. I'm a healer, a scribe, and something of a sorcerer. So call me a vagabond. I found myself in Albus a couple of days ago. I took advantage of that good fortune and helped rid the town of a curse. It was not the reaping, though, but an entirely different kind of sorcery. It made quite an impression on Prince Tree, too. So he hired me to locate his son, known to the Albus company as Hod. I was also instructed to find you, Thorn, and hand you over to the closest Burkana military governor. I could not refuse. You sure are a lucky man, Hopper Raleigh. What happened in both Albius and Ursus is evidence of that. And now here I stand before you, my fate in the Jaranan King's hands. It's just that Hode, or Prince Ho rather, is still all cold, and very well may be on death's door. Perhaps he's not yet done for? I've saved many lives that others felt were beyond saving. Why so quiet, Ake? And only if he thinks if it's truly necessary. We'll ask him tomorrow. My execution's tomorrow. I'm charged with murder, with the murder Albius guardsman and failing to protect the prince. He was gravely wounded while in my care. Of course, if Hod awakens, the king might deign to pardon me, but it'll be too late by then. What else do you want? Your daughter, Captain. I need to speak with your daughter. You came to the city together, then she vanished. Where is she now? Aren't you a little too old to be chasing girls, Hopper? Am I supposed to laugh? You and your daughter both managed to stand your ground against a Reaper in Albius. You can understand why that would pique my curiosity. I'm trying to learn what causes the reaping and how to stop it. Any temple servant can tell you of the reaping's causes, but stopping it is beyond anyone, save the gods. You seem to fear the best even me, let alone Ake or a Reaper. Don't know if you'd call him a god or not, but he did bring down the town hall in Albius. The cardinal himself carried him out of the rubble. He fights quite impressively for a scribe. Even you, Thorn, could learn something from him. I'm no god. Even an ordinary soldier in the right place can rebuke an entire army. Are you saying that my daughter's the right place? Or is she a weapon for you to defend yourself with? Even if Ake's right about you, why should I entrust you with my child's fate? Why should you? Do I look like a tall man? I just want to help. Barkana and you may be able to assist me. Has Brand Vici sent you? Brand Vici? Son of Stockhead Vici? So your brother-in-law then? Why does he have an out for you? When it comes to relatives, it's usually down to about an inheritance or a personal grudge. Knowing all the reasons is far less important than dealing with the consequences. Can't change the past. Better to be fully prepared for what lies ahead. Brand Vici wishes for the death of my children. It even angers him that he had naught to do with my wife's death. Guess you'll have to take my word for it. I know nothing of Brand Vici, never seen him. You've never spoken. Imagine a toad with venomous fangs, covered in honey and sprinkled with gold. You'd not be far off. Perhaps you need to talk about my dead wife, too? I share your grievances, Thorns, but no one's gonna survive this reaping unscathed. That's how it always has been and always will be. Unless the reapings have stopped for good. I take it your son and daughter still live? At least you have someone to pray for. Damn them. Just play with people and discard them like toys, and then they burn them like dead leaves. Where's their wisdom? Where's their mercy? I'm not one to judge the gods, Thorn. There's no reason for concern. You do not seek revenge on every fool holding obscenities in your way, do you? Has something happened to your son? There's concern in your eyes when you speak of him. I don't know yet. Brand Vici did say he was in trouble. I believe he was taken hostage somewhere near Phrygia. Perhaps the cannibals got him. Honestly, I'd just be as worried if Brand Vici had gotten his hands on any of my children. Damn, let's talk. Just get me out of here. Come to your senses. These walls I cannot bring down. Besides, Aga can hear us. The only reason he's not voicing his outrage is because he's so mad he can't speak. I'd rather know how you managed to stand your ground against a Reaper. Did your daughter help in any way? Alright, I'll tell you. Yes, Glenn helped me keep it together. I couldn't bear the shame of breaking down in their presence. there could have been other factors. I'm no sorcerer. It reminded me of a similar feeling from many years ago, back when I saved my father-in-law from the clutches of the Veil. That story is the stuff of legend. Since no one's dared approach the edge of the world. Paladins tried using ropes to pull willing daredevils back out, but a bunch of bloody corpses were all that ever came back. So you got in and out, just like that. How'd you manage it? I had to save my father-in-law. The loss may have been too much for my wife, her heart was already quite weak. So, off I went. Then, something happened to me there, and maybe it was passed to my daughter. Still, I wouldn't have survived if not for my mentor. Drew or died, but he helped me escape. Your mentor seemed no ordinary man. And how may I be of service to you, Thorn Brennan? With reason, of course. Important decision here. Let's see, maybe we can try to get him out of dungeon. Just get me out of this dungeon, Hopper. I fear that Jiraka is gonna blow his top. Rescuing you from the dungeon, finding your own weapon, preparing the horses, and getting you out of town? So who do you think I am? Arms, horses, everything's stored right here. But have you lost your mind, Thorn? I'm still the master of the Juron and Guard. And don't forget, your friends' heads are about to roll. They might still be pardoned, but you'll seal your fates if you flee. Then we'll have to get out of here together. You've got nothing to worry about, Ake. I've got no desire to fight my way out of this dungeon. I'm not asking for your help. I'm asking your friend if he can get me out of here. Thank you for saying that, Thorn. I am, however, a mere healer. You're my military commander or a big picklock. I'm only words and perhaps a little more, but that does not make me a picklock.
Hey.
I can handle locks, and I can pay if it comes to it. With Ake as witness, I solemnly swear to do everything in my power to settle my debt. I hope it'll work so out for you. I can't promise I'll save your offspring or get you out of this dungeon. You can rest assured that I won't harm you, nor your son. You're not forgetting people's hopes without promising anything, Hopper. Thorn, why not ask your father-in-law for help anyway? He's quite the powerful man after all. Not as powerful as the king. Besides, the fate of the prince leaves little to hope for. It's too late for help. You've heard that Teak's Inn is the best of its kind in Ursus. We're gonna spend the night somewhere, might as well be there. You lock yourself in one of the inn's vacant rooms. Perhaps you should cast a spell? Something tells you that Thorn's death ought to be prevented. You were once pretty good at sorcery. Still, shouldn't you think this through? Let's think about it. You have some skill, but sorcery of this caliber will weaken you greatly. Is it worth it? Maybe Karanzan? Or leave things as they are? If Thorn is indeed favored by the gods, then let them save him. True, there's something special about the man, but if his troubles come from his own doing, is his fate really any concern of yours? What about Karanzan? Karanzan could help you, but he might also refuse or even deceive you. If he does help, you're indebted to him, and he takes his death seriously. It'll be the last time he lends you a hand. Alright, time to stop thinking and act. Okay. Let's not meddle in his fate. We kind of got our own thing to worry about. Or... I mean, I want to meddle in his fate, but at the same time... Let's see, let's go for here. Screw it! We're using a spell. You shut out the outside world and weave your sorcery, wholly focused on a task at hand. Once the deed is done, you notice the walls are covered in frost. It seems you've lost your grip. Perhaps due to lack of practice, some of your power has spilled into the room. Teak starts knocking on the door almost immediately. Hey, Sir Raleigh, is something wrong? The ceiling in the room below is covered in frost. I lost my balance, fell, and dropped a bottle of wine when I saw it. It's embarrassing, but I also shat my britches and need a new pair. I didn't cut myself. Stop whatever you're doing, or I'm calling the guards. You've already delved into sorcery once today, and casting another spell is second nature. My dear Teak, I'm already fast asleep. You just had a bad dream. You've also been drinking raw water, which is why you shat your britches. The innkeeper calms down instantly. He only remember what you told him. I've just had a bad dream, he says lightlessly. I had a knot in my stomach because I drank raw water. Sir Raleigh's been fast asleep all night. Did we just mind trick him? See, the sudden headache makes you wince. You're lethargic. You really should go to bed. Having sent Teak off to mind his own business, you lie down and quickly fall asleep.
It's hard to step away from a luring abyss. Your heart is leaping out of your chest.
And we're back to Thorn. A stubborn bout of sleeplessness remains with you through the night. You finally doze off at dawn, but an urgent whisper rips from your slumber. You leap to your feet and find yourself facing Andra, who has managed to free herself. She stands next to her mirror image. Must be Foshta, twin sister she mentioned. Thorn Brennan, you numbnut! Are you just gonna sleep till your execution? Didn't expect to get past the guards, did you? Yet here I am. My dear sister thought it'd be hilarious to get you out of jail. Branvici will have a fit when he hears of it. What do you think? I won't leave without my men. Wait, how'd you get in here anyway? Actually, no, we can't. Shit, we can't actually get out of this. Where are the guards? Having a nap. All guards dine in the same hall, bunk there too. A little sleeping potion works wonders. I had to stun and shackle a few of them, but everyone's quiet now. I don't know what's more surprising, you or your luck. with all my men. It's actually better that you're not alone. It'll help us break through. Should come to that.
Hey.
Break through. So the guards aren't sleeping tight after all, or are you trying to set me up and then slip away while everyone's distracted? Smartass. We're going to raise a huge ruckus instead of slipping away. Singing aloud and ringing bells. Anyway, you either try your luck with us or lose your head alone, whichever you prefer. Such tempting options. Getting killed during a prison break or get executed. Ah, damn it, I don't have a choice. I'm coming with you. Let's not waste time. We'll get supplies later, Thorn. You'll have to come with us, quickly and quietly. Think you can manage? I've got some other choice. First and foremost, we free my lives. Let's not tarry. So yourself, time's of the essence. Something makes me think that Brown I made a mistake in ruffling this one's feathers. It may have been enough more than he could chew. Quick on the uptake, too. Under different circumstances, I'd have... Never mind, let's go. Having broken out of prison, you creep into a narrow passageway and look around. Wasn't this too easy? Shouldn't a prison also be guarded from the outside? Any guardsmen not busy chasing abominations through the woods or guarding Bron in the city square right now, grumbles Foster. The locals aren't too fond of him, so the man tries to keep himself safe. Speaking of Bran's mercs, they're at our Andra sputters. They're at our heels by the looks of it. Do we run or do we fight? Consider your options. Might as well fight. If Brand's something that they're mean, they won't give up. Are you certain they're Brand's men? Andra shrugs. He has a small army of mercs. I don't even know what half of them look like. Maybe he's guessing better ask them ourselves. Draw your weapons. Alright. Wow, this is a lot of level ups. And Krieger. Let's upgrade accuracy. Right. Let's upgrade his archery. Gremlin. Summoner. Spear and armor. Crippling shot. Archers won't be good here. But where's Fisk? Fisk? Ah, you are? Archer won't be good here. Golden earring, let's give that to Fisk. Iron ring. Sop. Krieger. Get that. Oh, -1 energy. Okay, let's go. I've recently been doing the Fake Great Order Valentine event, the one where you get more voice actor lines, and I gotta admit, I actually got Murasaki and Astolfo on the first day. I was not expecting Astolfo, mind you. Let's go. I'll just go in and kick their butts. But yeah, I managed to. I was a bit surprised getting Murasaki on a 10 roll. I didn't think the key to ritual would work, but it did. Good for me, I guess. I mean, I was a bit surprised being able to get her, but at the same time, I'm a little bit happy I got Murasaki. Now I need to save up. It was actually pretty useful because I only spent 5 tickets in a 10 roll. Which is good for me, honestly. Man, just going auto battle makes this game a lot more fun. I mean, I can just sit here and just talk. I've also been playing some more Star Trek Online. I think I've just been doing just the duty officers. Just make things game a bit more easier to do when you can just level up using that. Useful, honestly. At this rate, I'll be able to get a lot more stuff. I need to get David in that game, honestly. He'd love it. 2 monks fighting. Almost got one more left. And that's it. The Reaping's Breath. The hell is that? Ugh, finally, we can get the hell out of here. But you know what I'm gonna call here for today. We did a pretty good. We finally managed to get out of Ursus, thank God. And we finally managed to Hopper managed to catch up with Thorn. I wonder what he's gonna do. I mean, he could help Hod. At least heal him up. But I'm gonna call here for today. And I also apologize for not being streaming on Sunday. There was just a storm. Anyway, I'm Drag King Mark. Next time on Let's Play Ash of Gods, we're gonna get the hell out of Ursus fast. After exploring a little bit. And hopefully we can get that thing for Hopper. I think we need to go check out that healer's hut. We could find something there. Anyway, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified, and I will see all of you later.